Hello and welcome to the first installment of Jesus Talks with Jim. In this video, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, the coronavirus pandemic, and how we as people of faith are being called to respond to that. About a week ago, I went to the grocery store just to get some canned crescent rolls. Now, not only was my favorite grocery store that I always shop at completely out of any brand of crescent rolls at all, they were also out of almost all of the bread. They didn't have any chicken at all that was fresh. The only beef that they had was a couple of chuck roasts. The produce was thin. They hardly had any pasta. It was really like nothing that I had ever seen before in my life. So while I was there, I started thinking to myself, I understand rice and beans being picked over and everybody grabbing a bunch of ground beef to make chili with or whatever, but crescent rolls seemed like a really odd thing for there to be a run on. I thought surely another grocery store in Blount County has some. So I got in the car and went to the next grocery store, and not only did they have crescent rolls, but they had plenty of chicken. The fresh produce was well stocked. There was lots of frozen food, and they had just finished putting out ground beef, so there was plenty of that. I ended up buying the crescent rolls and a couple of other things just to fill out our pantry at the house, but I didn't have that urge to panic that I had had by seeing the empty shelves at the first store. I think we all agree that we shouldn't allow ourselves to be consumed by fear. In fact, in Paul's letter to the Romans, I think we get a glimpse of how we ought to be and how we ought to respond, not just during a time of global pandemic, but every day. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil, cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. As I was reading it this week, this passage seemed to just really apply on a number of levels. Reading about being patient in our affliction, loving one another, caring for one another's needs, to me really spoke about the need to not hoard items and to make sure that those around us have what they need as well. Yes, we're being asked to stay home, but we aren't required to stay inside. Go outside in the yard, get some exercise, and have some fun. And if you can't get outside, there's fun stuff that you can do inside as well. You can stay connected with people without being physically present. You can make a phone call or even video chat with people that you care about. I've got a friend who's a youth leader in Texas. One of the ways that the youth in her church are staying joyful in this time is by using technology to do silly things like starting this I'm a Little Teapot challenge on TikTok. If you're anything like me, you're probably spending a good amount of time on social media and on the internet right now. If that's so, let me encourage you to seek out encouraging and uplifting things. If you see a controversial post on Facebook, just ignore the comments section. Don't read it, don't comment. Your joy is not worth the fight of telling some stranger on the internet that they're wrong. Find some books to read. That's a great indoor or outdoor activity. And finally, Paul tells us not to neglect our spiritual practices. So don't forget to spend some good quality time in prayer. Do a Bible study. If your church offers live stream or pre-recorded worship, watch that. Be a part of that and engage in it. Thank you for watching this first Jesus Talks with Jim video. I appreciate you being here, and I hope that it has been helpful or useful for you. If you've liked it, go ahead and click the like button. If you have any comments about it, or if you have any ideas for a future video, leave those in the comments section. And if you want to know when the next one gets uploaded, you can subscribe to this channel. Thanks again for watching, and remember, don't let fear be your master. Be joyful in your hope, and above all, love sincerely. We'll see you next time.